Hi there everybody, this is Nico coming to you again from the Juneau-Douglas City Museum, and we do have Alyssa behind the scenes on the camera. And today we are talking to you from down in our collection storage area. So this is a part of the museum that most people don't get to see. It's where I tend to do a lot of my work. I'm very lucky in that I get to do that. And what I wanted to talk to you guys today was a little bit about being a curator. So I'm the curator of collections and exhibits, which means half of my job is to organize, research, and put together exhibits that the public gets to see up in our galleries upstairs or at different display areas around town. And then the other half of my job is caring for these amazing objects that are here in our care. And we are the City Museum, so all of these objects technically belong to the city, and I'm basically their babysitter and caretaker. And when you're dealing with collections like what we have here, there are a few rules you have to follow in order to handle them and care for them. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that today. Sometimes we see in movies curators are dashing through the jungle or climbing pyramids and doing all sorts of crazy things. Here in the basement, it's all about safety and being prepared. So today we're going to talk a little bit about basic object handling, which is more exciting than it might sound. As a curator, my number one priority is making sure that all the objects in my care are safe, they're taken care of, and we keep them around for as long as possible. Keeping that in mind, whenever you're going to handle an object, you have to think about all the things that could go wrong, so that way you make sure they don't. We have here in front of us a very interesting object, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in another video. But before I do anything with it, you can see I'm wearing normal clothes. It is cold in the basement and in our collections area because the colder temperatures are better for our objects. Because of that, normally when I'm working down here, if I'm not working with the objects, I've got a scarf on, possibly another jacket, sometimes a hat or fingerless gloves because I do get cold easily. But if I'm going to be working with objects, there are a few rules that we want to make sure we follow in order to keep them safe. So the first one is going to be removing any jewelry that's going to get in the way or could possibly touch any of the objects. So I always take off the one ring that I wear, and I have a medical alert bracelet, so I also take that off just in case. And to be extra safe, I normally like to roll up any sleeves that I have, just in case the buttons tend to be able to bump into stuff. So I have safe forearms with nothing that's going to ruin any objects. Next thing is to pull away anything that's hanging that could dangle or get stuck or fall into your eyes and cause trouble with vision. So as a girl, I have long hair, so I always want to make sure that my hair is back, either in a ponytail or in a clip. Sometimes your hair is an extra warmth, which is nice down here. I'm also going to remove my scarf just for added safety. So, taking all that off, me personally, I'm ready to go. I don't have anything that's going to dangle if I lean over an object. I don't have anything that could scratch or tear or hurt my gloves or anything like that. The next step is going to be choosing your gloves. So I'm sure most people know when you're touching anything that is of historic value, general practice is to make sure you're using gloves. Traditionally, museums would use cotton gloves, these guys here. They look a little bit like Mickey Mouse gloves with the lines on the back, which are kind of fun. Today, you have the option of also nitrile gloves, which are a kind of latex substitute. They're non-powdered, and they tend to have less allergic properties that the latex ones do. There are other glove options, however, generally those are the two best options. They're the ones that are going to cause less trouble with contact, and they're going to give you more bang for your buck in regards to protection. I personally prefer the nitrile gloves. I think that they give a lot better grip, and I feel a lot safer wearing those because there's less between my skin and the object, so I know that I'm going to have less chances of dropping it. One other thing to think about, we talk a lot about gloves and how they are our way of protecting the object, but the gloves are also a way for you to protect yourself. I know we're talking a lot about that with what's going on outside in the world today, but gloves especially, they're going to protect us from anything that might already be on that object. So what we have here is metal, so chances are there's not a large amount of things that have been put onto it in the past that could hurt me. However, Other materials might. Anything that's made from animal pieces or parts in the past were often treated with things like arsenic or mercury, which are very harmful to people. And so sometimes you don't know what's actually on an object. It's not visible, you can't smell anything. Do not sniff any objects, just in case, because you don't know what's going to be on there. So gloves are not only to protect the object, but they protect us as well. So now I'm ready to go. I would be able to lift an object, move an object. You'll see this object is sitting here on some tissue paper, which is acid-free, so it's going to keep it protected, as well as sitting on a bit of foam, so there's a little bit of a cushion. So basically it's in the best place it could be, safe and secure in front of me. I'm all gloved up, everything's put away, and I'm ready to go to do any work I need to do. So that's going to be your little behind the scenes on what it means to be a curator in the collections. And we'll be coming at you again in a little bit, talking about this particular object. For those of you who are watching, see if you can guess what this is. It's a bit of a strange one, and has kind of a unique connection to Juneau history. So keep an eye out for our next video, and we will see you soon. Remember, if you have any questions, any history questions, object questions, make sure you put them on our Facebook and we'll answer them as soon as we can. All right, stay safe out there, guys.